Bro, if like anyone had told me I'd ever get this hyped over My Hero Academia again, I wouldn't have believed them. Season 8 of My Hero Academia has probably been like one of the best generational runs for an anime season ever. It's up there with like JJK Season 2. And I really want to talk about Season 8 in general, like at a later date maybe, but I just need to talk about this episode. The way they animated Carnage Deku, the way they animated him is so sick. But okay, let's start from the beginning, because the whole episode was like really good. The episode just has great moment after great moment. You have Deku and Shigaraki fighting in the ocean. I need to stop swearing. I need to censor off that. Shigaraki just being hyped about All For One dying, which is, you know, kind of funny. The contrast between how destroyed and devastated Deku looked when All Might was about to die, and Shigaraki just like smiling when finding out that All For One is dead. And then obviously the big thing that just happens right after, Shigaraki the fucking stealing Danger Sense. Him losing Danger Sense is like the worst thing that could have possibly happened. Danger Sense single-handedly carried the whole fight, and instead of, I don't know, like a smokescreen sacrificing himself, it's Danger Sense. But I really like the moment right after when Shigaraki just stole his quirk and he just started using the shit out of it like instantly. And I mean, it just kind of keeps getting worse. You think, oh, okay, he stole one of his quirks. That's like really fucking bad. What else could happen? He kicks him into the mainland, right up to Mount Fuji, which means if Shigaraki comes here and touches the ground, the whole fucking country is going to crumble and Mount Fuji is going to explode. And obviously, since I'm already talking about it, he obviously comes right after him and touches the ground and then just proceeds to Aura Farm like Superman in that exploding courthouse. This episode also has a lot of the Deku wants to save Shigaraki and all other people are like, no, you should, you have to kill him. And Deku has one of the coolest fucking moments in the whole show. I don't know, I love how it looks when he says, oh my god, he's like a person. It just looks really cool. And then right after, like Deku looks at him, right, and says he's a person, and you just see Danger Sense going off and going off and going off and going off in Shigaraki's face. And then, like, the very next second, bro uses Black Whip and wraps it around his muscles, hits a Delaware smash, and pushes the air forward, which is like the most All Might thing he could have done. It's really fucking sick. Which, you know, he's trying his best, but Shigaraki has Danger Sense and he has Surge, so he's obviously just fucking dodging everything left and right. And, you know, the fight is a lot of talking, which happens a lot in My Hero Academia, and I guess I can see why people don't like it. I love it personally, because I'm a sucker for the whole, like, philosophy shit, especially in, like, anime battles. Even Nana Shimura, Shigaraki's relative, being like, bro, store your power up and fucking kill him. And Deku being the one to say, nah, I'm not gonna do that, I'm gonna save him. A really cool scene, I really like that one. And then the moment that still broke my heart, and I kind of forgot that it was about to happen. I don't know why, I didn't remember it happening that soon. Them telling Deku to give up One For All, and Deku obviously, you know, being heartbroken because that's the gift he got from All Might. And I really liked this contrast again, or like the symbolism of people getting stuff from their greatest heroes, and Bakugo, you know, getting the little thing for his arm. And obviously, you know, the cards that Deku and Bakugo got as a kid. And Deku got One For All from All Might, and now he has to give it up. I mean, the plan is really good, using One For All in the transfer to deal a major amount of damage to Shigaraki. Then there comes the part that I don't think is a good idea. They want to use Gear Shift instead of like Smokescreen, which it gets called out in the episode, by the way, which I like. I get it. I get where they use Gear Shift. Yes, he probably won't be able to use it right away, and if he does, he will have the drawback. But still, you know, Gear Shift is like Gear Shift and Danger Sense. Like, okay, Black Whip also. But those are like the main quirks carrying this fight, and giving both them up is crazy. But it also comes back to, you know, Deku being the ultimate hero, being able to sacrifice it all to save the world, or to save one person, the person being Shigaraki. And then there being this really heartfelt moment where you just see the flashback of Deku getting one for all and him breaking down at the thought of giving it up. And then him standing up. Here's the moment we've all been waiting for. Standing up, covered in black with bruises, saying he'll do it. And now, I didn't expect them to go this hard. Giving him claws, giving him a whole like Tokyo Ghoul tentacle transformation, and then hitting us with one of the best adapted like manga panels I've ever seen. Holy fuck, it looks so cool. I also like this whole thing about, you know, oh wow, whenever Deku loses himself a little bit or goes too far, he starts to look like a villain. You know, that also happened in, I think it was season 6, towards the end of season 6. There's probably a lot of symbolism in there that I'm not even gonna pretend to be smart enough to, you know, understand. I really like it when they do that. Season 8 has just straight up been, I don't know what I expected. I expected mediocre animation and then really good animation towards the end. It has just been one of like the craziest things ever. I'm gonna make a video about season 8 in general, so I don't like wanna ramble on about it too much. But the Bakugo versus All For One, the Bakugo versus All For One fight was so fucking good. Bakugo versus All For One was like I think my favorite fight in the manga. Maybe. There's so many good ones. I really liked that fight though. I was so blown away. I really need to make a video about that one as well. But I also don't want to take away from this episode. Because, you know, it's hard to have like all these action-packed episodes and then have one that's a bit slower, you know, because you have to get introduced to the fight between Shigaraki and Deku. And all that, and you know, it wasn't as action heavy as the previous episodes, but I still really liked it. This season doesn't just have like superior animation, I also really like the storyboarding and the pacing. I think it's done really, really well. And you know, some of the clips from the preview, obviously, spoiler warning, some of the clips from the preview also, like, look at this! Look at this! That's insane! I think it's gonna be a really good episode. I don't know how far it's gonna go. Again, I've read the manga when it released and I haven't read it since. But I think we're getting very, very close to the end. Man, I'm not ready. I'm not ready for the show to end. I just really felt like rambling about this episode for a few minutes. I know I don't normally make content like this. I've just kind of been in a like emotional and productive rut. Like very depressed, very down, not really, like I can't sit down and write a script for tried and it doesn't work. I have like 10 videos that are like halfway done and not all the way done. So I just wanted to get back to YouTube, you know, and ramble a bit. Yeah, I mean, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.